This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Yo, what the hell's going on? Today was another one of those crazy busy days. Man. So we got one of those hefty duty sanders to sand the deck out, but the thing didn't really work at all. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So we bought two little those handheld DeWalt sanders. Those seem to be doing pretty good. Got the sealant on the newer deck that was put in, and then the one by the shed. Anyways, it's just, man, one thing after the other. Then I heard this loud like sound in my office here, and I figured out it was the, I don't know what it is. I have one of those battery backup surge protector things, but I think the items were draining the actual battery. So I just moved them into the surge protection only slots. It was strange. It actually shut down my computer 3 times before I was trying to do a live stream here. And guess what, everybody? This is the first day of October. It's just like every other month. So once the final numbers are in for the month, if I have to add more to get over the 50%, I'll send in another donation. I don't know what the final totals were. But if you guys would like to help support the channel on a nightly basis, that's what we do here. That allows us to keep doing all the awesome stuff that we've been doing. Got 14 DNA cases. All right. I know, it's like, we just did donation night. But that's how it is every single month. And we've been doing it since January 2020. With the effect of $168,000. Somebody actually called me out when I said, man, I could have paid off my house. That's C, Gray, that's your inner thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it pops into your head like, holy crap, that's a huge amount of money. I think every one of you would think, man, I could buy a house. I could pay off a house with that. You know, people are just, nitpicking idiots. I don't really know what, it doesn't matter what I say. I could say, man, that looks cool. Ah, see, Gray? You think it's cool but nobody else does. Yeah. Anyways, right now there is a missing person named Charlotte, I don't know if it's Sena or Sena, missing 9-year-old, and from New York. It looks like maybe she was abducted. The picture on the screen right here is a 360-degree video from inside the park itself. So it's really a pretty amazing park. Very pretty, lakes and things going on there. There are a couple other shots in the park that are 360-degree, but it's in Moreau State Park. Something like Loop 9 they called it. Yeah, I don't know exactly. So what we have to do is get out a let's see, map of Moreau Lake State. All right. I noticed that my sales pitches don't really work too much anymore. It's like they're almost like a negative effect. Let's see. Loop 9. Oh, there's a 6, 7. Not really sure what the loops are. Oh, there's RF. Oh, I thought they said loop 9. I'll go through it myself, Donna. You don't need to. We'll be playing the press conference here coming up, so I don't want people jumping ahead, going ooh 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 great ooh ooh ooh. Let's just go through it. We'll go through the articles and figure out what's going on. Yeah, let's see. So I think it was called Final. There we go.
Good afternoon. I'm joined today by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Troop G Commander Major Dennis Shager.
Thanks, Kit Kat.
We also have representation from law enforcement, including the FBI. On a picture-perfect fall day here in upstate New York, Charlotte Sena's family and friends gathered for a weekend of friendship and food and enjoying one of the last few days of good weather. They came here to just have an ordinary time. The kids could have a chance to be in nature, have a chance to be kids. And they came to this beautiful scenic state park, Moreau State Park, literally 15 minutes from where Charlotte and her two sisters were raised. They rode bikes around the loop road we see. They camped, they cooked out, the kind that lasts a lifetime. But instead the day turned into every parent's nightmare.
Thank you, Amber.
I just met with Charlotte's parents.
The question is, will one of Amber Maiden's waves work? One of them did it the other day. But. All right, here we go. I guess she's talked to the parents.
David and Tricia, obviously distraught. And as a mother and as a grandmother, I cannot imagine the pain they're going through. They shared with me how joyful their little girl is. A 4th grader just recently elected to be a class officer for student council. And everybody thought of her as just a really nice girl. The kind that people wanted to be friends with. The kind that looked out for other children.
Yeah, I found it. Okay.
The pride of every parent. So, it's a very hard time for her family. I'll go through the circumstances of her.
Thank you, Jeannie, Noreen Gardner, Ashley Hanson.
Disappearance, and we'll have representation from law enforcement talk about the search. Charlotte was camping with her family here in Moreau State Park. Last evening she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark. It was right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops
live
with
right here.
Close friends she considers her cousins. And then she decided, after going around Troop A, she said she just wanted to go around one more time by herself. Be that big girl, do it by herself. Literally 15 minutes later, she hadn't come back yet. And that's really when the nightmare begins. Her parents knew immediately something was up. They called her name. People started searching. People from other campgrounds joined. And 30 minutes later, at 6:47, Charlotte's mother, Tricia, called 911. The scene was chaotic.
They live 7 miles from the
leaving
park.
Their food, leaving their tables, just everyone in search, calling the name Charlotte. Charlotte. By 7 p.m., the state police were on site. And for the last 18 hours, 18 plus hours, teams from the New York State Police, dogs, aviation, our bloodhounds are here. The sword operators, our special response teams are on site. New York State Park Police, forest rangers, underwater rescue teams, and drones. We brought in technology experts also to analyze other forms of communications in the park at that time. A command post has been established at the state park right behind us. And additional search teams were deployed this morning. Right now there's over 100 personnel deployed, 75 law enforcement on the ground, the 2 drones, an airboat, search team, 6 underwater rescue teams, another boat that has sonar. We also have the Schenectady Fire Office here assisting with the search, given that Charlotte is the niece of one of the members of the Schenectady Fire Department. We are leaving no stone, no branch, no table, no cabin unturned, untouched, unexamined in our search to find Charlotte. We'll keep the members of the public updated. I promised her parents we'll find her daughter. She's all of our daughters. Their family needs love. They need prayers. And if you know anything, if you've seen anything, you hear anything, please contact 911 to tell us what you know and what you may contribute to the search for this little girl.
Thank you, American lady.
Hearts are broken here today in New York.
I've been in the mountains the last 5 days, no Wi-Fi, caught up today, and devastated about Gen H. Yeah, terrible. Donating to their family and scholarship fund, also donating to great causes. I love you all. Alright, well, love you too, American lady. Yeah, it's, yeah. Absolutely shitty, you know.
No Wi-Fi. Caught up today and devastated about Gen H. Crying face, broken heart, donating to her family and scholarship fund. Also donating to Gray's great causes. Love you all. Romantic face.
You know, something I was thinking about today was that on that last phone call I had with her, it was like an hour, I mean, a half hour long we were talking. And she just kind of, it seems like we were almost ending the call and then she wanted to stay on a little longer. And maybe I was actually wondering at that time. And I don't know, it was just strange. Wish I just stayed on the, you know, like, we could have just stayed on forever, I guess. I mean, wow, thanks so much, Kelly. Jesus.
Last 2 weeks due to 3 deaths in my family.
Wow.
I'm so sorry to hear of Gen H. She sounded like an awesome lady. We need more people like her in world. Crying face.
No, I couldn't agree more with that. That's exactly right. She said, haven't been watching much the last 2 weeks due to 3 deaths in my family. I'm so sorry to hear of Gen H. She sounded like an awesome lady. We need more people like her in the world. I mean, that's 100%. It kind of makes me want to, you know, like, try to be a little less of a pill. Yeah. So. Ooh, jeez. Guess we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, she was like, okay, well, hey, we'll talk to you later. Oh, wait, let me, you know, what about the, you know, I don't know. It was weird. She just kept on there, and I really feel bad that I didn't call. Like, I called on the way to Indiana, and then things just got so, like, hectic and stuff, and then I called her when I got back, but it was too late. And that's just, I don't know. And man, Kelly, 3 deaths in your family. What's going on? Crazy times.
Hopefully there'll be a reunion. Hopefully there'll be a family that has been traumatized but is reunited.
I don't know. I can see you as a member, Monica.
That is our prayer and our hope at this time. With that, let me bring up Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone to follow up on our continuing search for Charlotte.
Thank you, Governor.
I don't know. Maybe she lives in the area. I don't know.
Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent.
Here's what I think. I think that they have a lot more intel, and they know that this is an abduction, and she wanted to get out in front of it. I think they know it's an abduction. You know, when they put it on an Amber Alert, but what's weird is you're required in an Amber Alert to have like a vehicle you're looking for. Because what good is an Amber Alert if people aren't able to look out for something? So that's what she was wearing, this tie-dye. Yeah, sort of weird, right? A little bit. Dark blue pants, black Crocs, and gray bike helmet.
Of the New York State Police Uniform Force. Shortly before 7 p.m. last night, State Police responded to Moreau State Park. And
why is what lady hated? What are you talking about?
the town of Moreau for a report of a missing 9-year-old female identified as Charlotte Sena of Greenfield, New York. Charlotte was last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. riding her bike in Loop A of the park.
Okay,
At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office, and search teams were deployed, which consisted of New York State Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, Forest Rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine, as well as several civilian volunteers. A missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts continued throughout the night. In addition to our massive search efforts, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning. I want to thank our state police members, our park police and forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners for their commitment and efforts to find Charlotte. We continue to dedicate all resources that we can to find Charlotte and bring her home safely. Charlotte Sena is a 9-year-old white female with long blonde hair, is approximately 5 foot 1 inch in height, and weighs about 90 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. Members of the State Police Wilton BCI will be leading this investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to call the New York State Police at 518-477-9333 or call 911. Any updates will be posted to the State Police newsroom at nyspnews.com. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll take them at this time. Aerial systems, underwater recovery. At 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office in Moreau for a report of a...
I'm going to go back to the beginning.
Ties, but is reunited. That is our prayer and our hope at this time. With that, let me bring up Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone to follow up on our continuing search for Charlotte.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent of the New York State Police Uniform Force. Shortly before 7 p.m. last night, State Police responded to Moreau State Park in the town of Moreau for a report of a missing 9-year-old female identified as Charlotte Sena of Greenfield, New York. Charlotte was last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. riding her bike in Loop A of the park. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office, and search teams were deployed, which consisted of New York State Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, Forest Rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine, as well as several civilian volunteers. A missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts continued throughout the night. In addition to our massive search efforts, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning. I want to thank our state police members, our park police and forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners for their commitment and efforts to find Charlotte. We continue to dedicate all resources that we can to find Charlotte and bring her home safely. Charlotte Sena is a 9-year-old white female with long blonde hair, is approximately 5 foot 1 inch in height, and weighs about 90 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. Members of the State Police Wilton BCI will be leading this investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to call the New York State Police at 518-477-9333 or call 911. Any updates will be posted to the State Police newsroom at nyspnews.com. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll take them at this time. Well, following our exhaustive search of the park, we took that step of issuing the Amber Alert because we felt that after that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
Tyler McNeil with the Daily Gazette. I was just wondering, in terms of how much of the park has been covered so far. Where exactly? It's a relatively large park.
Well, certainly we started at the area that she was last seen, and over the course of the last 18 hours, we've conducted an exhaustive search of the park. We've been checking the waterways. As I've mentioned, we have our drones and aviation assets looking from above while our teams are on the ground. We had a bloodhound assigned to this area, several other canines, so I feel confident at this point. We've conducted a search of this park, and we're going to continue with that while we also search every other avenue.
Any idea she might be outside the park?
Certainly that possibility exists, yes.
Might be a silly question, but are there any security cameras in the parking lot?
Well, I really don't want to get into the cameras and the technological aspects of our investigation and our search at this time, but I can assure you, as the governor mentioned, that we are doing everything we can to reunite Charlotte with her family.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Good job.
All right. Well, we got the. I found a better, pretty good map here. This has the whole damn thing in it. See, this has got it all. And loop A is right here. Loop A, and on the map, it's right here, just short of the cove. That doesn't show it. It's this one right here. There's the little cove that goes in, and then you can see the shape of loop A. And that's right here. There's the cove. And that's why you guys pay me the big bucks. We get everything mapped out. Gotta get the background music playing again. We can play that again later if you want. So we were already here. I kind of looked at that as a loop just in my mind, so we already kind of glanced in this loop. So she was just riding her bike around. It's only about 7 or 8 miles, probably 8 or 9 miles driving from her home. And somewhere on this, she's probably just biking around the loop. And eventually they found her bike on the loop, but not her. So she was abducted. I mean, likely. That's what it seems like. I mean, a 9-year-old, 5'1", 190 pounds, blonde hair. I mean, she's like the classic victim of a pedophile. That's just the reality of it. And then her bike is found on the ground, or somewhere at the scene without her. So maybe she wasn't abducted, but that's probably the more likely scenario, right? I mean, what do you guys think? Here, I'll type in I mean, we don't have a ton of information yet, but alright, there's the poll question right there. Not even sure if I spelled abduction right. My brain is fried. What do you mean, where are parents? Their parents are around. They're probably, this is like people would go camping. They were probably camping and had a location that went in here, and she was just biking around doing loops and was abducted. The parents don't have any criminal history that I could find, so obviously you check things like that, but it doesn't. This case currently doesn't sound. Wow, that's weird. Doesn't feel like they think the parents are involved. All right. So let's go. Let's do the last resort parent maneuver, just every once in a while. Wouldn't that be cool? You know, just every once in a while that you might think of them, but don't just go right down that rabbit hole right off the bat, because 90% of the time or more, they have absolutely nothing to do with it in cases like this. Thanks, Danielle. Right. Facebook, yeah. Those Facebook people, they're always on top of it. The parents are currently living their worst nightmare. Yeah, exactly. She's riding with friends. Then her folks let her do one last loop alone. Where is that mentioned? It could be in one of these articles. I haven't gone through these yet. So it says, Governor Kathy Hochul made an unexpected trip to Moreau State Park on Sunday to receive and provide an update on the search for 9-year-old Charlotte Sena. The New York State Police issued an Amber Alert around 9:30 a.m. Sunday and said the girl's disappearance is now being investigated as a possible child abduction near Moreau State Park, Loop A, Site 18. Well, there we go. You can even... let's see, where's that map that I just downloaded? Ding, 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 ding. There it is. It might not break it down on this one. Might be able to see it by going down the street view, though. I just want to see if... Yeah, where is it? Did the parents come forward to tell us about how she was driving around and then made one more loop by herself? I wonder if they're actually numbered in here where you can see. Yeah, okay, there's 20. So there we go. Don't need another map. This is going to probably be either 19 or 21. That's actually 18, so the other side over here would be... So this is the spot right here. Yeah, it's going all the way over on the other screen. Site 18, right there. I don't remember her saying that in the press conference. But then again, I have to read the chat, unfortunately. I'll have to go listen to it again. The press conference probably has the most useful information in it. Thank you, Danny ICURN. Okay. What sucks is I was trying to do the show at like 6:30, and my computer turned off twice because of some weird battery thing right in the middle of me rendering out the press conference. So, you know, it's like I didn't even get to really listen to it by myself. And then when I'm doing the show, people are, you know, throwing out a bunch of crap a lot of times and going, hey, what do you think about this? And it's like, let's just listen for a minute and see what we can hear. I don't think these types of places have cameras. Otherwise, cameras are not likely. Yeah. Well, I would think that they would have some cameras in various places, you know, like the ranger station or the bathroom or something like that. And man, I mean, you know, this is still somewhat summerish, you know, so wouldn't there have been a lot of people around? I mean, how was somebody abducted with nobody noticing anything? But I mean, an abductor wouldn't abduct unless they had a clear shot at doing so, right? I mean, there might be trail cameras. I mean, everybody gets really wrapped up in this whole trail camera thing. Yeah, so there's cameras in some places out here. But I mean, it doesn't look like there's a ton just sitting around a place like this. This is 2014 here. So it's at the far back end, you know, right at almost exactly where I randomly put the loop A pin. But it was right in this spot. And, you know, it's sort of interesting that it's back there, the most isolated portion of loop A, right? So somebody could have came from, for example, let's see, is this right here and went through the woods there and made their way to A from even a more secluded portion. But I mean, how secluded is it really? I mean, are there just people don't go to this park? I mean, they'd want to get out quick, you know, duck, and then but you'd have to go out this main place where there's a park office here. Let's see what happens when you come out here. That's right, that's right. So there's a lot of different roads going around out here. I'm just trying to find something here. Hold on. So the park is right in here. You can't see what I'm doing, but this is flight radar. It's right in here. I wonder if they just don't even think she's in the park anymore. But man, this is a massive park, you know? Absolutely huge. Wow, what the heck? Thank you, Wilco Grundens. What if I know who you really are? Anyways, wow, thank you. You guys are incredibly nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lane S. How come Wilco Grundens doesn't sound like a real name? Is that a real name? This reminds me of the abduction of Amber Van Dam. You have to register and pay on the public campgrounds, but you can just hike in on most trails, yeah. It's a massive park. I mean, this is... I mean, we how about we just do like... I think on Google Earth I can do sort of...
Hope they find her.
I'm assuming the park probably comes up. I mean, it's, you know, just generally 4,673 acres, and the perimeter is 11.45 miles. You know, something like that. Yeah, they found her bike. Yeah. So let me let's read some of these articles though. Then we'll listen to the press conference again, okay? Because this time I'm just going to focus exactly on what they're saying and not read any chat. Not that that's your fault. It's just that, you know, I'm just trying to read what people are saying, and then I absolutely don't catch it, you know. So usually I don't do that, but. It was supposed to be $2.99? Well, that's not that cool. If you want me to send it back, I'll do it. $2.99. Wow, that's yeah, let me know if you want that back. No, I mean, that's not, I don't want, just, if somebody didn't mean to send in that, then I would send it back. So let me know, Wilco, let me know. Sadly, what's crazy though is like, I can't really send it back because of the whole amount, because they're already going to take, I think you can like dispute it if you want or something like that, because they're going to take out the 30%, and that's a lot of money. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's a lot of money to give. If I gave you back, I'd lose $100, you know. So let's see, Blair. Well, I don't want you, if you don't have that much to give, I'd like to, I mean, can't you go in and cancel it or something like that, or, yeah. What do you mean, why am I trying, we do a show every single night, Blair, you sound like a complete idiot. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter what case we're covering, the channel brings in income, and how about this, why don't you ask this? How come you raise money on your channel to identify 14 unknown people in the world by using forensic genetic genealogy? Hey, Gray, how come you bring in money to fund National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is exactly like this case right here? We've given them over, I'd say over $20,000, $30,000 over the last few years. How come you don't say that? Because you're an idiot, that's why. Alright, you're a dumb person. It's okay though, I'm trying to be more graceful. Yeah, nobody cares when, I mean, I am a monetized YouTube channel. I don't feel bad whatsoever, because I actually cover true crime the right way. And that's it. Well, let me know, Wilco. Let's see. I'd only be able to send you back, you know, minus 30%, because I'll be taken out of that. So if you need it back, let me know, okay? Yeah, so I'm actually proud of this channel, and I think any income that I bring in, I deserve, because I spend 3 hours a day doing shows. What sucks is having to waste 2 seconds talking about it with dumb people. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, to appease them. It's crazy. This has had me sick all day. My youngest girl is the same age. Size, likes, Pokemon, same grade, looks similar. Can't handle it. I feel someone took her. Yeah, I mean, it's like so many other cases. It's not really, it's not rare. You know, some cases affect other people different, but this is happening all the time. A lot of psychos out there. Yeah, well, they're I don't blame them at all for taking that much time. Normally when you put out an Amber Alert, you have a vehicle. They didn't have one here. Do you get it? Any caves around? Oh God, we're not doing the caves thing, are we? Did you forget the tunnels yet? Yeah, see, that's what I said, Kubi. The tunnels. Where are the tunnels here, everybody? There are tunnels absolutely everywhere. Yeah, I almost threw in culverts, but I was going to leave that up for Cindy. She likes that one. I don't know, Wilco. Man, I wish you hadn't sent me a nickel at this point. It just it's turning into a weird show all of a sudden, Wilco. Hey, thanks, Cadillac. How's it going? Yeah, mountain lions. Have we ruled out alien abduction at this point? Here we go, everybody. Here they come. I mean, I appreciate the thought, but I don't really know how to... I got 2 Amber Alerts today, for one this morning, one this afternoon. Oh yeah? That's crazy. Okay, let me read this. The New York State Police issued an Amber Alert around 9:30 a.m. Sunday and said the girl disappearance is now being investigated as a possible child abduction near Moreau State Park, Loop A, Site 18 in Gainesville. Sena was last seen around 9:15 p.m., so it's getting dark, you know. So 6:15 is getting kind of dark outside. You know, like the sun's down, you know, you're getting close to sunset. According to state police, she was entered as a missing child through the Department of Criminal Justice Services. The extensive search for her continued overnight and into daytime hours on Sunday. Out of an abundance of caution and due to the length of time that has lapsed, an Amber Alert was issued. See, that's the only reason they did it. They're like, you know what? We got to throw it out there. But that's not... They normally do it when there's a car, so people could be on the lookout for an abduction vehicle. The state park is located at 605 Old Saratoga Road. Police said she was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. The girl is also described as... Okay, now it's only 4'6". I heard another 5'1" earlier. And 90 pounds with long blonde hair and green eyes. That makes more sense for somebody that's 9. Officials said Sena lives in Greenfield with her parents and 2 sisters. Yeah, so let me see. This is where I have her living. And I didn't put the address in there, but pretty sure that's the spot right there.
Great, modern freaks rule.
That's right, K-Me, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're out there, Wilco, do what Liz G said, okay? This whole thing seems weird to me, doesn't it, you guys? This this super chat issue here, very strange indeed. I just, something seems odd, especially when the only people responding of how to, you know, are other people that aren't channel members. Very strange. I don't know. What I don't. I don't know if it's just being paranoid or what like that. Nobody asked Danielle. They already got answers up there, okay? But thanks, Danielle. We're really looking forward to your reply there. Yeah, I don't understand it. Little weird, but hey, you know, if it was a mistake, then, you know, get it back. I just don't really, you know, it's not gonna, it doesn't bother me. It's like, well, if you didn't mean to send it, you didn't mean to send it. So go get it back somehow. Now, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Rary. Oh, Jesus. Mm-hmm. All right. A command center was established at Moreau State office and search teams were deployed. The zone said in addition to the massive search for Charlotte Sena, law enforcement officials have also been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region. I want to thank our state police members, our park police, forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners. Let's see. I think this is what she read. This is what she looked like right there. I think, you know, interesting. I think this is a picture taken at the park that day. You know, maybe it was at dinner time. You know, maybe you had some hot dogs and whatnot at about 5 or something, and they go biking. Because, I mean, that's a camper in the background. Here's a fire right here. Let's see if we can even see that pit now that we see it. I bet you that little cement pit is right in the middle of this. Because they're probably eating. And there it is. I mean, that's exactly where that photograph is taken. Here, hold on a second. Yep, sorry about that. The kids were taking off, so what a crazy day. They're out there doing. We had to get those hand sanders to finish this deck out there. It's about halfway done, but we got 2 different portions stained because they weren't even treated wood. Like, we had these decks made with no treated wood, so they could just be destroyed. But anyways, I think this is exactly what we're looking at in that picture right there. That this little brick or cement, can you guys even see that? It's kind of small, but I think it's right there. And what's, I mean, look, that's crazy. It's almost like the same camper is in the background. Just see, that's how the angle would be, right? You're right there, and then over the left side behind her is a camper with almost the identical top on it. I mean, what are the odds of that? When was this taken? This is July 2014. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay. Actually, it should be on that side of it, so the camper would be in this one. Because the solid part's right there. Yeah. So anyways, that's where that photograph that was taken at that park wearing the exact clothing. So that's what she looked like when she went missing. That was that day. I can just, yeah. That was something I was going to measure earlier. Got sidetracked though. Uh, 0.32 miles, so about a third. Nothing on a bike with when you're a kid, just zipping around. Alright, what happened to Charlotte Sena? Everything we know. More than 100 people, bloodhounds and drones are part of the massive search for 9-year-old Charlotte Sena, who was last seen more than a day ago in upstate New York. Sena of Greenfield, New York. Let me just make sure I got the right place. Hold on a second. Greenfield, New York. So that's over. That's green. I don't know. I mean, the thing is the parents have property. Well, that's close, right? There's Greenfield there, so I'm pretty sure that that's it. Let me just check to see if that's what the address said that I used. Want to make sure that we have the right house and everything. And the address is, well, it's Porter's Corner, New York. So I don't have it in Greenfield. But I mean, it's close, right? I mean, that's probably 6 miles away. And this is the house I have for both parents. Right here. Oh, it's like a mansion almost. That's old school. I bet that that looks like the house the Waltons was filmed at, doesn't it? I'm covering this because I got like 3 emails and 2 Facebook. Hey, Gray, you going to cover this? So I thought, okay. Well, I was going to do the Suzanne Morphew document. I guess we'll be doing that one tomorrow. Or this again, depending on what comes out. Yeah, it's definitely a huge house. I mean, it's like probably 7 or 8 bedrooms. So that's the house that they had an address at. Maybe it's like a multi-family type living there or something. Who knows? But it is close to Greenfield down here. Let me make sure. Maybe there's another address in Greenfield. Let's see. Saratoga. No. How about for David? Oh, well, here we go. So David has a house down here. So it could be this one if they're saying they're from Greenfield. So this is right here. And this one said, well, this one mentions 2010. So I don't know if they live here. Need a camera and need cameras and yeah. I mean, we can all talk about what we need and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really help. I mean, it's pretty awesome. There's these 360-degree shots. Like here's one in the winter. Look how awesome it looks out here. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, when I feel like it, honey, yeah. Yeah, the parents have nothing to do with this. Or, you know, if they do, there's nothing apparent that has them to do with anything. Who cares if they let their kid ride around loops in a campground on a bike? Okay, if you're somebody that wouldn't do it, nobody cares, okay? That just means you're a helicopter mom, which is, you know, is that good or bad? I mean, maybe some kids need to... The sad part is what the girl was doing is what, like, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of kids do every single day, riding around bikes, and they didn't get killed by a psycho, but this one did. And we don't know if she was killed, but I mean, abducted is what I meant to say. Like, they don't get, we don't know if you know, they drive around and it's just weird. You know, it's weird how people always try to look at my virtues, everybody. I'm signaling you I'm so much better than everybody because I wouldn't have let my kid ride around on a loop at a campground in a circle because I just, I get so scared. Ooh. Man, what it's like, really? I mean, you're camping, you're just sort of with a whole bunch of other people and they're riding around. Somebody in that campground probably knows something. Right? Somebody. Same things have always happened. We just need to hear about like we do now. You're right. Yeah, it's always been that way. I agree. Can't live in constant fear. I don't know if it matters, but on Saturday, about 40 minutes north of the park, was an annual Sasquatch calling. No, it has nothing to do with anything. I wouldn't let mine. I know that a lot. I wouldn't let mine. I know that. Right. Well, that's embarrassing. Let's see. I still worry for my son and daughter, and they're 38 and 41. Too much judgment on helicopter moms these days. I understand why, but yeah, I think I don't like it when it's just. I mean, you know, everybody gets why, but it's really rare when something happens. So it sucks that some of the psychos made it really bad for everybody else. And the kids can't do it. I mean, when I was a kid, like I've said before, even when somebody tried to like pull over one time, get in the car like that, I just ran home and I still got to go on bike rides and all those things, you know. Just being a kid, you know. Hey, be back by 9. Yeah, everybody was doing that. But now, forget it. Hey, can I bike to my friend's house? Absolutely not. Why not, Mom? Well, there's some psychos out there. Oh, I don't want to ever go outside again.
The entrance off old Saratoga Road, there is a gatehouse with the guard stationed there.
Yeah, we know. We saw that. Let's see.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Hello, freaks.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be like a societal rule. It's just one of those things. Like, I think people. Here's what I see. I don't mind if parents say that, but what I don't like is when you have a show. When you have a show, hey Wendy, I'll say whatever the hell I want to say. Don't you understand? So, hey Wendy, if you don't like how I refer to things, don't watch the show. You watching isn't going to affect my life at all. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, let's see. It was the what I don't like are when other parents tell people, "Oh my God, how could they possibly have let them ride them around? You know, like ride around. Oh my God, that's so it's so irresponsible. I blame the parent." I can't stand that shit. You know, like the Delphi case, when people question over and over why the kids were allowed to go to the bridge, I just want to, like, yell loud. You know, it drives me nuts. Who the hell are you? Okay? And by the way, nobody cares what your opinion is on it. It happened. That's it. What you should care about is there is a psycho out there, right? Now, in this case, her bike's sitting on the ground. She made one extra loop. What other reason, other than an abduction or something nefarious happening, could account for it? Can you come up with anything? Well, she's doing the other loop. Oh, she sees this really hot guy and took off. Well, then that means that guy's nefarious. I'm in the new office right now. What do you mean? I'm sitting in the new office. I put the same bricks on the wall, though. And according to Cindy J, I had a mason come out and literally put the bricks on the wall behind me. It's amazing. Yeah, that's what virtue signalers do. They come in, they like to say how great they are as a parent. Everybody, look at me, look how awesome I was. Because that could never happen to me, and I'm the greatest parent in the world, everybody. So anybody who would have let their kids do that are just shitty. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go listen to the press conference again and focus in on the whole thing. All right.
Good afternoon. I'm joined today by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Troop G Commander Major Dennis Shager. We also have representation from law enforcement, including the FBI. On a picture-perfect fall day here in upstate New York, Charlotte Sena's family and friends gathered for a weekend of friendship and food and enjoying one of the last few days of good weather. They came here to just have an ordinary time. The kids could have a chance to be in nature, have a chance to be kids. And they came to this beautiful scenic state park, Moreau State Park, literally 15 minutes from where Charlotte and her two sisters were raised. They rode bikes around the loop road we see. They camped, they cooked out. The kind that lasts a lifetime.
Developing memories.
But instead the day turned into every parent's nightmare. I just met with Charlotte's parents, David and Tricia, obviously distraught. And as a mother and as a grandmother, I cannot imagine the pain they're going through. They shared with me how joyful their little girl is. A fourth grader just recently elected to be a class officer for student council. And everybody thought of her as just a really nice girl, the kind that people wanted to be friends with, the kind that looked out for other children, the pride of every parent. So it's a very hard time for her family. I'll go through the circumstances of her disappearance, and we'll have representation.
I guess that's the part that's odd, is like, why is the governor going through the circumstances? I could see here being there for the support, but we want to hear from law enforcement. You know, you're not really, you're the governor, not the investigator, okay?
From law enforcement talk about the search. Charlotte was camping with her family here in Moreau State Park. Last evening she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark. It was right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops.
Yeah, just before it gets dark.
With close friends she considers her cousins. And then she decided, after going around Troop A, she said she just wanted to go around one more time by herself. Be that big girl, do it by herself. Literally 15 minutes later she hadn't come back yet. And that's really when the nightmare begins. Her parents knew immediately something was up. They called her name. People started searching. People from other campgrounds joined.
Yeah, man, what a nightmare.
And 30 minutes later, at 6:47,
think about that.
Charlotte's mother, Tricia, called 911. The scene was chaotic. People leaving their food, leaving their tables, just everyone in search, calling the name Charlotte. Charlotte. By 7 p.m., the state police were on site. And for the last 18 hours, 18 plus hours, teams from the New York State Police, dogs, aviation, our bloodhounds are here. The sword operators, our special response teams are on site. New York State Park Police, forest rangers, underwater rescue teams, and drones. We brought in technology experts also to analyze other forms of communications in the park at that time. A command post has been established at the state park right behind us, and additional search teams were deployed this morning. Right now there's over 100 personnel deployed, 75 law enforcement on the ground, the 2 drones, an airboat search team, 6 underwater rescue teams, another boat that has sonar. We also have the Schenectady Fire Office here assisting with the search, given that Charlotte is the niece of one of the members of the Schenectady Fire Department. We are leaving no stone, no branch, no table, no cabin unturned, untouched, unexamined in our search to find Charlotte. We'll keep the members of the public updated. I promised her parents we'll find her daughter. She's all of our daughters. Their family needs love. They need prayers. And if you know anything, if you've seen anything, you hear anything, please contact 911 to tell us what you know and what you may contribute to the search for this little girl. Hearts are broken here today in New York. Hopefully there'll be a reunion. Hopefully there'll be a family that has been traumatized but is reunited. That is our prayer and our hope at this time. With that, let me bring up Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone to follow up on our continuing search for Charlotte.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant.
Yeah, as it was explained in there, she was biking around with friends on this loop right here. I mean, I don't know what the deal is with people. Anyway, so she was in here. This is the loop she went on. Why don't we just go around the whole damn thing, okay? So let's start at her campground. She was at campground 18, apparently. I don't know if that means where she went. Her bike was found, or you know why they say 18. We don't know. So it's like a loop going around. Let me get rid of the loop going around on the screen here. But if you're out there and you need to virtue signal, yeah, go for it, man. See where it gets you. All right, we'll play the rest in a minute. But anyway, here's the bike loop. I mean, hell, this is a loop that, like, if you go to Sun River in Bend, Oregon, it's almost exactly the same thing you would do every single time. I don't know why that's blurred there. It must look like a human. Thanks, Mama 457 Rose. And there we go. And they just kept going around on a loop. Kids biking around. This is from 2014. Pretty clear video or images from 2014. And just going around in a loop. I mean, it looks kind of like a cool park. There's got to be a camera on that.
For this little girl to be found
I'd be
safe,
shocked if they don't have a
folded
camera
hands,
on that.
Rose.
We're not doing the wild animal thing again, are we? There's no animals. Come on, you guys. Jesus. Let's not jump. I mean, that's what the weirdos talk about. Hey, maybe it was a black bear or a... I mean, give me a break, all right? That's like 1 in like 80 million or something. Especially, let me ask you this. Do you think a girl riding loops around where there's people camping, just like this picture right here, that if she made one of the loops and a bear or cougar jumped out, that somebody wouldn't have heard something? Yeah, so this is the loop, you guys. I mean, it's just goes around and around. And so let's see, where were we? We almost we were right there. I mean, I think we'd already gone around twice already. So it's right there, going around, just loop, loop, loop. Number 18 is right here. Maybe that's why they mentioned it, because that's where they found their bike. Don't know.
Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent of the New York State Police, Uniform Force. Shortly before 7 p.m. last night, State Police responded to Moreau State Park in the town of Moreau for a report of a missing 9-year-old female identified as Charlotte Sena of Greenfield, New York. Charlotte was last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. riding her bike in Loop A of the park. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office, and search teams were deployed, which consisted of New York State Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, Forest Rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine.
So that the park office is right there,
as well as several
literally
civilian
right
volunteers.
There. And A obviously is the first loop probably off of where the park is, the park office.
The missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts continued throughout the night. In addition to our massive search efforts, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning. I want to thank our state police members, our park police and forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners for their commitment and efforts to find Charlotte. We continue to dedicate all resources that we can to find Charlotte and bring her home safely. Charlotte Sena is a 9-year-old white female with long blonde hair, is approximately 5 foot 1 inch in height, and weighs about 90 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. Members of the State Police Wilton BCI will be leading this investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to call the New York State Police at 518-477-9333 or call 911. Any updates will be posted to the State Police newsroom at nyspnews.com. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll take them at this time.
Okay. Well, maybe 18 is where it was.
Just wondering what led you to issue the Amber Alert, specifically language in the alert that represents an abduction, and perhaps any of that.
Well, following our exhaustive search of the park, we took that step of issuing the Amber Alert because we felt that after that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
Tyler McNeil with the Daily Gazette. I was just wondering, in terms of how much of the park has been covered so far. You know, where exactly? It's a relatively large park.
Well, certainly we started at the area that she was last seen, and over the course of the last 18 hours, we've conducted an exhaustive search of the park. We've been checking the waterways. As I've mentioned, we have our drones and aviation assets looking from above while our teams are on the ground. We had a bloodhound assigned to this area, several other canines, so I feel confident at this point. We've conducted a search of this park, and we're going to continue with that while we also search every other avenue.
Any idea she might be outside the park?
Certainly that possibility exists, yes.
Alex Richard, CBS 6. Might be a silly question, but are there any security cameras in the parking lot?
Well, I really don't want to get into the cameras and the technological aspects of our investigation and our search at this time, but I can assure you, as the governor mentioned, that we are doing everything we can to reunite Charlotte with her family.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon. I'm joined today by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Troop G Commander Major Dennis Shager.
All right. Anyways, we've already gone over that. Let's see. Gotta send something really quick. Hold on. All right. Yeah, who's saying it's an animal attack? God, you guys. So 85 abduction, 15% say something else. Okay. Let's. I'm almost like scared to ask. Let's see. There we go. Let's see how many people answer that. Let's see. It's not an animal. And I didn't ask you if you like him or not. The Queen of Witches. Did I? Nobody knows at this point, sadly, except for Charlotte. Cameras at the entrance of the park. Anyone know this? I don't know. We could take a look. You know what we should do is go back. Let's what if we play like playback and go back to, I mean, hell, we could do, well, actually we could do the first at like start playback. Here comes a helicopter over here. Man, I've seen that one before, B407. This is sweet. Look at the playback of a... And the park's right in here. So let's see what happens. I think somebody saw here and couldn't help. And others took off with her. I don't know, Chuck. Jeez. What if there's going to... I mean, it's an abduction, so yeah, I mean... that's what I think. So this is 4 a.m. this morning. I just think at some point during the day there's going to be some helicopters that show up. Yeah, they really fixed this playback mode. Let's see if we can have it. Man, it looks so dark in here. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that it was her next loop by herself, because then she was isolated, and then somebody had the perfect time to abduct her. Yeah, of course they have thermal. What do you mean you wonder if they have thermal imagery? Of course they do. Yeah, that's all they do out there. Yeah, I'm just waiting. Let's see. Let me get back out on Google Earth really quick. Where is it? Oh man. I guess it's shut down. Right here is... Oh, so it's kind of off to the very far right edge of the... And there's this little lake. So it's kind of... They don't let you search on this mapping site, the flight radar. I'm just looking for it. Is that the one? Yeah, okay, there's that spot. So that means it's... Yeah, where's the river? Right there. Okay. Then here it's right over... Right there. Wow. let me man, they make this tough. It's right here, and then just a little bit over here's that's Moreau Lake. And that means it's like right there. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go back some hour. Ooh, there we go. I just saw a helicopter there. Let me go back. Let's go back to like 10 in the morning and watch this again. And it should be right in this spot. Right there. This is the loop is actually right down in this area. That's the, so it's right in here. That's the loop. So we'll just kind of keep it like, maybe about like that. Zoom in. I swear I saw a helicopter there earlier. Thanks, American Lady. And yes, you too. If you'd like to help support the channel, get this new month. Oh, there's a helicopter right there. Get this month started off on the right path. Ooh, let me go back. Let me go back. Slow it down. There we go. So that helicopter is definitely one of the ones searching. Went right over the parking, I mean the campground there, the loop. And there we go. B. But yes, if you'd like to support the channel, allows me to keep doing these shows. And also, as you can see last night, we gave away $4,500. Started a new scholarship fund, and then we'll also be in honor of Jennifer Hamrick, the mega moderator, awesome person. And then 3,000 went to the Identifiers International for identifying Jane and John Does. So that's what I do with part of the income. The other part is I make an income doing live streams, but at least I give a tremendous amount back, which you don't really see too many people doing that. Anyways, so there was B407 right there.
Chewbacca? I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
No, it's not real time. This is at 3:34 today. So I could speed it up a little bit. It was spending a lot of time right around in that area. And it doesn't seem like it has a rhyme or reason. It did cover the entire expanse, though, of the park there. Yeah. B407 again. there was any reason to believe this was an animal, I don't think an Amber Alert. Right. Are they still talking about animals in here? Yeah, so the campground is, so it's south, it's right here. This is where the loop is. Yeah, literally campsite 18 is about right here. So it makes you think, like I was saying earlier, if you look at the map, there's a road in the back of the campground that somebody could have came and went through the woods and abducted somebody and took them through, and that would lead you maybe over to this area. There we go. So, what is this guy? $107 Reynolds. So that's a spot a sex offender lives. Right there. Man, for some reason that's the only one seems to be listed there. Anywhere in the area. And it doesn't say what for. It's pretty close though. It's the only one. Could have been cruising the park. Yeah, I guess so. Not the need of the vehicle. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, you guys, and hit the like button for sure. That would be great. Thank you. Alright, this one says, we are leaving no stone, no branch, no table, no cabin unturned. Police are searching for a 9-year-old girl who went missing while riding her bike in Moreau State Park in New York Saturday evening. New York State Governor Kathy Hochul confirmed the disappearance of Charlotte Sena from Saratoga County in a press conference. Hochul explained that Charlotte was camping with her family in Moreau Lake State Park in Gainesville, New York, where she disappeared on a bike ride. She did a couple of loops with close friends she considers her cousins, and then she considers her cousins. And then she decided, after going around loop A, she said she wants to go around one more time by herself. Who did she say that to? And, you know, and be that big girl, do it by herself, Hochul said. But after 15 minutes, Hochul said Charlotte was nowhere to be found. However, her bike was found, but it's unclear who located it. Sena was last seen at approximately 6:15, according to Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent of the New York State Police, who spoke at the conference. After the girl's family and other campers joined the search, calling out her name, Hochul said Charlotte's mother, Tricia, called 911 and New York State Police arrived at around 15 minutes later. Hochul said there are over 100 personnel deployed and 75 law enforcement on the ground involved in the search over the last 18 hours. Want to keep up with the latest crime coverage? Why are they sticking an ad right in the middle of this? Those involved in the search include NYSP K9 and Bloodhounds, Moreau Lake State Park Forest Rangers, 6 underwater rescues teams, 2 drones, an airboat, a sonar boat, technology experts to analyze other forms of communication in the park. Hochul said a command post was established at Moreau Lake State Park and more search teams were deployed Sunday morning. We also have the Schenectady Fire Office here assisting with the search, given that Charlotte is the niece of one of the members of the Schenectady Fire Department. After a missing child report was issued Saturday evening, Lieutenant Colonel Mazzone said at the conference that an Amber Alert was issued for Sena Sunday morning. Here's the Amber Alert. New York State Police has activated Amber Alert for a child abduction that occurred near Moreau Lake State Park in Gainsport, New York at about 6:45. Well, that's kind of interesting. How do you know it was 6:45? Yeah. See, the thing is, she went missing at 6:15. 15 minutes later, that makes you believe that they have some other piece of intel for them to put that there, because they already had that dialed in. Anyone with any information should call the New York State Police at 518-457-6811 or dial 911. That's so funny. Oh, man. Zozo sent me a message. It was so obvious what it meant, but my brain read it so differently than the actual meaning. It was so weird. I thought there was some, like she said she will do something. And I was like, Will? Who's Will? Jesus. Oh my God, that's almost like, that's something Cindy would do. It's amazing. Who the hell's Will? Oh my God. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So what's this been doing? Yeah, look at this, man. They were just all over the place. Look at that, still going over here at 4:45. But man, you guys, the energy just went. We're gonna need some energy juice, you guys. Especially since one of the super chats wasn't even legit. They're going to go get their, cancel it. Let's see. Amanda, I too wonder if maybe the parents have a clue who... I don't know. Everybody wonders everything. She did one more loop. Face, I think they know if an abduction. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's why the governor's out there. The governor's there because she knows it's an abduction and not some other thing, and she probably wants to have her face on the camera doing something really important, and she's really hoping to God that they find her alive and arrest the person. And then she'll take all the credit and, use it for her campaign. That's how they do it, right? Hey, Pebs, what's going on? Have you seen any algae blooms lately? Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Pebs, but yeah. The parents have checked out as being normal and responsible, it appears. I mean, there's nothing to cover. Like, there's not a lot of information to cover, Pebs, so I don't know how somebody can cover it greatly or ungreat. It's just sort of like, that's the story. Yeah, she went to the park. She did multiple loops around Loop A, and you know, they were staying at spot 18, and then she decided to go one more loop and disappeared on that one more loop. So there might have been somebody, like, it does sort of sound like a crime of opportunity where somebody's literally waiting and like they were watching the cousins and her drive around, and then we're like, oh my God, here she comes again, and then abducted her. You know, so, but everybody has to go to that park. They have to check in.
I'll be back if you want.
Yeah, this is earlier in the day here. 5:11. Thanks, Cadillac.
We keep our baby safe.
New FBI has confirmed a... What do you mean? FBI has confirmed... Oh, come on. Send me a link or don't mention it. Hey, thank you, Cadillac. Appreciate it. Well, we don't have a picture of the suspect, Goofy. Are there any cameras at the entrance of this campground? I think I just figured out why the... You know when you have those battery-powered... Oh, no, that shouldn't work like that. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Really don't know what was going on there. Like, if you have a battery-powered sort of surge protector... It shouldn't matter that you plug it into the one that says battery and surge, because while it's plugged in, it shouldn't use anything. You know, it's like, so I don't really understand why it was doing that. But once I removed all of the big, you know, like the computer and the monitors and everything to the surge only, it worked. So kind of strange. All right, so did you get it? Did you figure out a way to get it back, Wilco? Because I don't know. I can't. I mean, the thing is it's going to be, I get charged 30%, so I'm out $100 almost immediately. So what are you going to be doing on that? Unless you get it completely reversed. But if you want me to send you back the money, I lose like $90. You know. So I don't really know what to tell you on that one. So if you can get it canceled, that's great. You don't have to send me anything. I don't know why we're still talking about it again. You could send me an email. Yeah. Let's see. Someone camping could have been watching. Yeah, so what was the difference in the coverage, Pebs? I mean, what would... earlier when you said you were watching it, what would there be different? Just inventing stuff? Or, like, I don't understand what there is to... but we heard the press conference. All we know is that she went there with the family to enjoy nature, and you know, probably had a meal. If it's canceled or returned, YouTube doesn't take it. Right. Yeah, I know, the boys. I just said that. Gotta try to listen a little bit better. Yeah. Just let it go through and Gray can send it back through. No, that's not how it works, conspiracy and crimes. Because then I'd be out. I'd have to send him just only about $210. Not the amount. I can't read whatever you sent me there. I'm not sure what you sent me there, Zozo, but I can't open it up. It says I need to get a subscription. Can't open it up, unfortunately. Let me try something else. Might be able to open it up if this site works. And no. Right. So I'll we'll try to get you your money back, Wilco. But I'm not gonna, like if it's something that can't be fixed by the bank, I'll send you back 200, whatever the 300 is minus 30%. Okay, because I'm not gonna take a loss because somebody sent in a super chat. It's kind of odd. I hope you understand that. Let's see. I don't know how to send it to Gray. Send what? There's emails. Gray will help you all. I was saying it to take care of it after the show. So the show is not... Yeah, it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. My kids used to ride their bikes to the pool for swim practice and to their grandma's house, and around that age, they're not always in your eyesight every second at that age. Right, but apparently there's people, you have to do that or you're a bad parent. Yeah, so they were definitely all over this spot right here. I looked and there isn't anything about a trail camera from a valid news source. Alright. Hi all, I'm sending this urgent... So this is just some random person on Facebook. So I'm going to see what it says. I'm sending this urgent request. A friend of a friend of our a friend of a friend... It's already getting to a... Well, my uncle's aunt's sister's best friend's dog walker's aunt's cousin's best friend's sister told me that the friend of our granddaughter in Saratoga was abducted in Moreau State Park yesterday. She's 9 years old and was on a camping weekend with her family. The authorities have found her bike and saw the abduction on a trail camera. As hard as this is to do, please also pray for the abductor, shut up, that he understands what he has done is wrong and do no harm. Come on, you guys. I mean, I don't pray for abductors. It doesn't matter, I mean, I guess it's possible. That's the trail camera comment, right? Is that true? A friend of a friend? A friend of a friend of our granddaughter. So let me see. A granddaughter has a friend, and then a friend of that person said, and who's your granddaughter? I mean, like, what does that have to do with anything? Alright, we'll still got this on the screen. Does anybody come back in? That looks like a plane went right over there intentionally. Went right over the campsite there. I think that was probably for that. It's not a hunting area, it's a camping site. Yeah, well, we know that. Even grown women are not safe. Oh, you're talking about, I think, you're talking about chasing. I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Pebs. Yeah. Viral, they had boats with sonar. Huh? What? It's viral? They had boats with sonar? What does that have to do with anything? Prayers for this precious angel's safe return. Why would you let your... Oh, God. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Another wacko. Why would you let your 9-year-old ride out of sight in a strange place on their own? I'm sure they've been there multiple times. They were at a... it's just a little loop with people camping. Why don't you do you and don't complain about what other parents are doing, okay? Their kids, if there wasn't a psycho, probably would grow up a little bit more well-adjusted than yours, okay? Yeah, there's people all over the place. If they issued an Amber alert, then more than likely they... Well, they didn't put the description of a car, so no, it's not likely that they saw her put into a vehicle. Yeah, they just, after a while, once they realized she was abducted, then put out an Amber alert, just a general one with no automobile. If they'd seen her put into a car, they would have mentioned it, right? Who knows what age somebody should be allowed to go out? See, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care if the parent let their 6-year-old drive around in a loop at a campground where everybody's just sitting right there. Who is thinking that there's a psycho sitting right there? I'd like to know what the other people are thinking that were sitting there that day on their, like, whoa. They must be like, where? They were just riding around. We didn't see anything. We don't have the trail camera video. I think what we're missing here is that people forget to focus in on the sick, wacko, crazy people out there. Why should parents at every second of every day have to be thinking about psychos? Why don't we get rid of the psychos? You ever thought of that? Wouldn't that be a better way to do this? Is to have better law and order in the country and get rid of as many as possible instead of just... I don't know. People don't care. Nobody gives a shit. It's weird how people they get sort of like, well, we don't have any new information, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trash the parents for letting their kids ride around. Because I'm so much better than they are. I'm like 1,000 times better mom because I would never let my kid ride around a loop at a campground because I am awesome. And you suck for letting your child do that. But did they do anything to their kid? The answer is no. It's the psycho who took her. Yeah, I don't have anything from anybody. Amber, it sounds like somebody just if you sent it to me on Facebook maybe. Nope, nothing over there either. So no, didn't get an email from anybody. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Maybe you guys, if you see Colin, or not, she's Colin, Colin Montgomery, the golf, Daryl Montgomery in here. Maybe you could show him how to do links and stuff like that. I don't know about it. I caught up on details via New York Post article and video. Good for you. Those virtue signalers have done it too. We are fooled. A man crept up one night while we were camping, stood outside my daughter's tent. That's creepy. Yep. Yes, how dare a parent let their child be a child? I know, like, you can't let your kid ride a bike around a campground. It's a little loop where all these other people are sitting around, and she was riding around with a cousin, and yeah. That's one of the things I hate the most, is the virtue signaling that goes on in the true crime world. Because you're right there with the people that say unalived and essayed and just spell out kill. Look at, it's called sexual assault, everybody. It's called murder. It is called suicide. All right, just remember, those are the actual words. There aren't some weird made-up words that, you know, society wants them to be called now. I always think about, yeah, well, Cleo Smith, remember that case? How everybody had just convicted the mom and dad. This one feels exactly like that case. Convicted the mom and dad. Oh, look at the way. Oh, did you notice her? I bet you anything. If you'd put them, I thought it was cool though. I will say the behavior panel got that one right before it was found out. So, and I think on my channel we weren't going after the parents, right? I really don't remember doing that at all. I think it was just kind of, but everybody's so sleuthy, man. Ooh, did you see the way her eyes looked that way? Did you see it? And it was just some random psycho. Right. Yeah, we know, Zozo, but we weren't talking about that. Are you just trying to bring up that topic again? Thanks. This happened fast. Predator was waiting and had planned to get out fast. Yeah, so maybe in those woods back there, right? So I don't know if they were staying at campsite 18 here, but that's Loop A. Here's the park office. Right there. I mean, right in the middle. Just people all over the place. So through this, let's see, how would that work? So when you're going into the campground, so it's sort of an interesting thing. So this old Saratoga Road here sort of is that's kind of creepy now that you think about this. So here's this park office. So the way this would work is, if you want to pay attention, is they would drive in right here, and I think you check in at this gate right here, like there's a little thing here where, hey, I'm coming in. They probably even got you on camera and all this shit right here. And then you come in and you go out to you probably pay a fee and go out to your camping spot, all right? But look at this. If an abductor parked their car, for example, I'll even put a pin, because I think this is, in an abduction scenario here, that this is, there's a good shot at something like this. Like you pull your car over on the side of the road here. I'm not sure I spelled that right. But anyways, you go in here, you park your car, perhaps pull over, you know, right here. I mean, shit, look at this spot. Just pull over right there, right? Then you walk through the woods there. Not very far. I mean, literally the distance to the path from here is, let's see, 87 feet. Right? 30 something, like 30 yards basically. So you could sneak in here, and then if somebody coming by, quickly grab them and bring them through the woods into your car, and then you avoid everything. You just go right on Saratoga Road, or you know, maybe you park your car heading the other direction, and you get right on Highway 9. So you could be like right over here, and you would just wait in the woods. So watch this. This is what it would look like, by the way. So you abduct somebody, and then you come out, and you're sort of right by these trees, and you're looking to see if there's any cars. Then boom, you just zip across. Your car's parked over here, and then you get into that vehicle, and you get the hell out of there. And you just go right there. You're on Highway 9, and boom, 87. All these different options right there. It's literally like an absolutely perfect place for somebody to abduct somebody. And look how easy it is. It's only once you get into here that you're sort of in control of the park. But look how close this road is to not being in control of the park. Loop A, and specifically this section right here, where it's literally 90 feet away. And so I'm just saying this because I'm looking at it, and we do the mapping thing, and that's something that would stand out to me as something very possible. The road is literally, let's see if we can go down a little bit and just kind of look in there. Yeah, so there you go. That's where she would have been on a bike. Can you guys see that? The little path right in there? Right there. I mean, the person could just walk in the woods, get her off the bike. Now let's see what it looks like in that area in terms of how populated it is with camping. There's a shitload of people right there. And if you go around here, so, you know, I mean, look at right in this area. Maybe there was nobody just here, and they came in. You can see the road through there. See that? There's that road. That road there leads out to the highways. And this is late summer, so I could definitely see, you know, a scenario where there isn't a ton of, I mean, there's less people, let's say. It's colder this time of year. This is in July, this shot right here. So that's probably the peak season. You know, September 20 something, almost October, like really basically October. It's probably got a few less people here. And there's the road. Look at that, you guys. What do you think of that? Do you guys think that that is a possibility? Hold on a second. Jesus. The reservation system shows Loop A almost fully booked. Now, for when? Yesterday? That's pretty interesting. Can you send me a link to that? It just feels like this is the only thing that makes sense. I mean, you're going to come in here and you're a known person to somebody and you abduct her and somehow you drive out. That seems very unlikely with a lot of people in there. But if you get the right time, like this is 6 o'clock, you know, maybe people aren't milling, they're doing, you know, who knows what they're doing. Maybe they're eating somewhere, and it's a little quieter, and there was just this perfect timing, you know, somewhere, you know, I'd have to see pictures of how many people were there or anything. That's the problem. It's, you know, it's difficult, but it'd be right around in this area, I think would be a good shot, and you would just hope that nobody was here. So, like, let's say you were right here, and the person comes through the woods and abducts you, and it just so happens there's nobody camping right here on that day. Well, you grab them and then cover their mouth, and whisk them into the woods here and wait for there not to be any cars, and then rush them across, get into the vehicle, and dart out this direction and get out to right here, take a left on Highway 9, and you are gone. You have Highway 87 and, you know, just all kinds of options to get the hell out of there. So there you go. There's a theory. Might be completely bogus, but it's based on what we're looking at right here. This road here is not protected by the park. Old Saratoga Road. Once you take this right, you're in the park's midst. I mean, you're going around here. You drive up here, maybe. Looks like you can kind of, in this area, get out. So I guess it's technically possible that, I mean, is there a way to do that from over here? Like somebody could have been back in this remote area and then drove out like this and around and then kind of down like this and then out of there. Maybe we should try it. Take a look at that one. Does it work like that? Let's see. It's so cool. Lake right there. So that goes around. So let's see what it looks like right here. So that's not really a trail, right? Those aren't road. That's not a road. Okay, so you can't turn that way. Yeah, so that isn't really... Let's see, hold on, let me go right here. What are we looking at there? Is that a road or just like a hiking trail? Yeah, so that's not even... That was just a hiking trail right there. Unless they changed it since then, but that doesn't look like anything. Let's look at a different time of year. And then turn off roads. Oh, that's a creek, right? Or is that what that is? Yeah. That's a creek right there. So that has nothing to do with anything. So again, we go back to what we talked about earlier. Turn on roads again. There isn't a right turn here. You're stuck. So as soon as you turn into the campground here, that's it. Now you're in control of the park. You know, you got to go out the gate. Ends up here. I don't even know if that's a road. Does it stop up here? Let's see. Yeah, so there's stuff going on. A lot of. Okay, it looks like a bigger part of a park up here. And then where do you go from here? That's it. So you're stuck. There's nowhere to go up there. The only entrance into the park, if you're driving, is this road right here. Right? So, now that we know that, the most logical place for an abductor to be is on the side of this road right here, and she was abducted. I'll even put a circle there, because now that we've worked through this, this seems like the most logical place right there. And it could be completely wrong. However, at this point, given the information that we have, that would seem the most likely spot where she was abducted from and then taken on a highway this direction. Could have gone this way too, and, you know, maybe down here, get on to Highway 9 using that S road there. So what do you think of that? Because we just disproved that these are roads. Like, I guess that's a creek. There's no way out from up here. I mean, what is this? Is that even a road there? No street view there. That's a creek. You're stuck in there. Yeah, I'm not saying it's what happened. I'm just saying based on the information that we have, that's it. If she was abducted, that would make sense. It'd be almost ridiculous, yet possible, to think that somebody camping here abducted her and then somehow got away and nobody knew who she was, and or knew who they were, anything like that. So it's just a theory based on what we have. And that person was walking around, standing there maybe, noticed, was looking at him, and then wow, somebody had a third, and that makes it more nefarious. Like this person was there hunting a victim, not an opportunist where they were at the park camping and went, oh wow, and then abducted and then took off. This would be somebody who went there specifically hoping, last of the summer, man, this is my last shot type of thing. And has there been any other abductions in the area lately? Anything else like that? I think she asked about hoof-hearted. Hoof-hearted. I see. That's a joke. Who farted? I get it, man. Boy, you are a card. That is funny. Maybe she wanted to go back to talk to someone. What? Oh, you mean like a catfishing type person? Wouldn't the other 3 people know that, though? The other cousins that went around the bike loops with her? Yeah. I think the thing that makes the most sense is Old Saratoga Road is the area where the person got in and out undetected by the park. There isn't really... I mean, let's see what it looks like right here on the corner. Is there some sort of a camera filming people coming in and going? This is July 2021, this shot right here. But if we go down the road here, just barely down, because Loop A is the first loop inside the park. Look at all these places you could just pull over. We're almost at the loop is, what is that? Oh, that's my circle that I drew. So right around in here, you could just pull over right there or on this side of the road with the car aiming that direction. And then right through there, you can literally see the path that she went around multiple times. And it says state park boundary. See, this is outside of the boundary, just like I was saying. It's not even in the state park. This road right here. So, man, that just makes sense. If I was them, I'd ask, did you see a car parked on the road right here? And do you remember what it may have looked like? If they're not asking that, then who knows? But they might have other information. That's just my theory based on what we have right now. If you tell me something tomorrow, I'll completely shift to that and not worry about it. Yep, pretty thick. I think this was a person waiting for a vulnerable person. Yeah, that's right. They were hunting. It's much like I thought the Delphi case was originally. And apparently it's possible that it could go back that direction, but I don't think so. I think that Richard Allen is definitely connected to Keegan Kline and the pedophile or the child pornography ring that was in that his Dropbox led to, and that's what I believe. Hey, could you guys hit that like button for me, please? And start hitting that like button right now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Hit that like button. 10, 10, 10. Do I hear 10, 20? Do I hear 20? 20, 35, 45, 50. Do I hear 5, 55, 55? What do you mean, any updates? What does that mean? Please do not state rumors as facts. Yeah. On Delphi, you mean? So this is currently at 3. Oh, this is like right now. It's almost out of time. Now, how would there be an update in 10 minutes? I mean, come on. What's been confirmed, Elias? Oh, God. Man, if you guys would just type in full sentences, please. What's been confirmed? I think he just surprised her and she was too terrified to scream. Some of these comments. Yeah, isn't it weird? Tonight's, we got, see, once you have a case like this, and look, we have over 1,000 people watching. You get a lot of the crazy people that come in that don't really think through things at all and just sort of blurt out whatever comes to their mind, like some sort of I don't know, almost like almost sounds like this one. Hey, wait, it actually sounds more like this. See, sometimes when I'm reading chat, it sounds like this. Really good little buddy, Skipper! Hey, thanks so much, Cadillac! And yes, you too out there, if you want to help get the month started on a good note. We just donated $4,500 from the income yesterday. Gonna keep on trucking. Gonna try to hit 60,000 for the year. We're at 48. What are we at? 40. What are we at? We are at 45,850 with 3 months to go. I think that's totally doable. You know, so I think we should be able to hit that. Sounds like a good one. Yeah, we've already done the press conference. So what was the part up there that, Eugenie, what you were talking about something being confirmed or not? They're calling it an abduction on her Amber Alert. Yeah. They think it's an abduction. I think it's an abduction too. When you see, when you got a 9-year-old missing from a park and there's a bike sitting there, it's a little bit like a Lyric and Elizabeth Cook too. You know, the Lyric and Elizabeth, thank you so much, Cadillac. It's a little bit like Lyric and Elizabeth and the, I think Iowa, is that the, you know, their 2 bikes were sitting there and they went missing. And then months later during hunting season, their bodies were found in the woods. Well, it doesn't sound like the parents are like part of what they think is going on here. Doesn't seem like it. Here, why don't we go to the day before? Yeah, the 30th. when she went missing. Maybe they started flying around that very same night. Right there. Probably at their campsite, Vice City Love. And if your next sentence is, why would they let their kid ride the bike, I'll remove you from the channel. Thank you very much. Right. Let's see. I would imagine those deployed drones could pick up her shirt or pants color quickly. Yeah. Chat went off the rail a long time ago. Hey, Timothy, I agree, man. Absolutely crazy. That's because they're not the normal freaks, you know, that are here. It's a bunch of some random people that come from all over the place, don't really know where or anything. But you're more than welcome to be here. But try to use logic and reason when you work through these. That's what we do here. And that's why if I pretended I was a psychic channel, we would do really well. Because we work through things and I could pretend, like right here. Like, see, the theory that I just came up with, right? This is a logical theory based on the information we have, that she was abducted right here onto that road right there because you're stuck inside the park. Could be somebody in the park, took her somewhere in the park somewhere, and hiked out on their own. I don't know. But if you want to get in and out, that's it. I could be sitting here and go like this. Oh, I see. I see like a side road. It's really clear. I see water. I see two trails near each other. I see a highway. I see the number... Hold on. With one eye open. I see the number 9. I see like something about Saratoga, you know, it's just sort of hazy here. Oh, wow, everybody. Ooh, 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 ooh. See, what psychics, good psychics, what they do is they work through a case like everybody else, and they're logical thinkers and come up with really rational theories, and then they assign all of their developing thoughts to spirits, and suckers out there believe that stuff. Okay? Well, Gray, why do cops use them sometime? Because they are desperate as all hell. Okay, that's the truth. The theory isn't true. It's caught on trail cam. Actually, footage of... Yeah, you keep saying that, Elias. Where is it? Where is it? Mm-hmm. And how do you know the trail camera isn't exactly where I said it was? I'll tell you what, though. If they release the trail camera footage of her being abducted, that'll make this case turn into a huge case in just a minute, because that's the criteria. Right now, it's already an interesting case where there's this 9-year-old girl missing doing loops and took one extra loop and went missing right amongst other people. If you can somehow, and now you bring video into that, that's when every Tom, Dick, and Harry go, wow, this is so much more interesting now. If they had footage, they would show it. Mm-hmm. Can someone catch me? Well, yeah, I mean, they would show the individual, right? Probably blur her out, show the individual. Catching up on speed, there is a trail camera. No, we don't know if there's a trail camera, Ken. People are just saying that there is. You know, I mean, it's not a hunting park. Sometimes trail cameras are put up just to monitor, you know, maybe if an animal comes in there, coyotes or whatever, and things like that, monitoring predators, or just even for surveillance. People might be sneaking into the park. But no, an animal didn't do this. How do you know, Gray? Could have easily been a black bear. I just, I have a sneaking suspicion it's not. I know, how boring. Okay. Does this have historical information? Does 87... Where's that lake? Somebody just sent me... Where's that lake? Oh, down here. There we go. So then there's a camera... What is that? Meta Ridge or something? No, that was here. Somebody sent me the maps of the cameras out there. You see, that's here, and then the road comes up. So they only show on that map to here. So yeah, I mean, I guess there's cameras there, but it'd be better to see one up north. But yeah, obviously, roads have cameras on them. This wasn't a non-human animal attack. What? What would you? What would you mean, non-human? Huh? What in the world? Yeah, look at these crazy comments, man. Wild. Wild, 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 wild. Alright, let's see what this one. Zozo just sent me this one. Let's see what it says. Gainesville, New York. The search for Charlotte Sena began Saturday night during a family camping trip at the Moreau State Park. The park is closed to the public while the investigation is ongoing. State officials gathered earlier to discuss efforts to find the young girl. She is a beautiful, sweet 9-year-old girl. She has blonde hair, bangs, and green eyes, just under 5 feet tall, described Charlotte's aunt, Jean Sena. Charlotte was last seen with a Pokemon shirt and a gray helmet as she rode her bicycle with friends before dinner around 6:15 p.m. She told everyone she was going to take one more lap around. When she didn't come back around to eat, her family started looking for her. Wouldn't I be good at podcasts, you guys? Yeah. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A. Interesting. Okay, so it was in Loop A. That's where she was biking. At 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mother called 911 to report the child missing. Stated Assistant Deputy Superintendent, New York City Police Lieutenant, or New York State Police Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzoni or something. I guess not. Oh, you always get this one guy who shows up on the scene. He'll put out 75 videos in 6 hours. Yeah. Who cares? We not mention... I know exactly who it's going to be. That person will never just go to a a case that nobody's talking about. Let's see, the balance of the... I personally wouldn't let my kid ride their bike out there. Hey, Merry Christmas. I don't care. You're not better than anybody else, okay? Just look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm not better than other people because I wouldn't let my kid ride a bike out there. Please, do it right now. Do it with us. Do it with us right now, okay? Look in the mirror and tell yourself, you're not better than anybody else because you wouldn't let your child ride a bike around the loop. All right, Charlotte was last seen with a Pokemon shirt and a gray helmet, and she rode her bicycle with friends. Before dinner, around 6:15 p.m., she told everyone she was going to take one more lap around. When she didn't come back around to eat, her family started looking for her. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A. At 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mother called 911 to report the child missing, stated Assistant Deputy Superintendent of New York State Police Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzoni. Governor Kathy Hochul came out to the state park to meet Charlotte's family. She let everyone know the lengths state officials will be going to locate the little girl. As a mother and as a grandmother, I cannot imagine the pain they are going through. We're all leaving no stone, no branch, that's kind of ominous sounding, no table, no cabin unturned, untouched, unexamined, in our search to find Charlotte. More than 100 law enforcement officers were sent out to search the grounds. Drones and helicopters flew overhead, while crews went through the trees and searched the waters. State police are fearing the worst and are working tirelessly against the clock. Through exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it is quite possible that an abduction has taken place. Charlotte's aunt, Jean Sena, there are ways people can still help out with the search being left to professionals. No tip is insignificant, especially if you live in the vicinity of the entrance of the Moreau State Park. Well, that's interesting. In the vicinity of the entrance, which is exactly where my circle is right here, where there's the entrance, and there's the vicinity. Okay? So, just saying. Just saying. If you have Ring cameras, or if you were camping here this weekend, state officials urge tips to be called in. So in their scenario, like what she might be saying is that somebody exited out the normal exit, perhaps, right? But that seems, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that likely. So is that it? There's nothing else in that one? Okay. Probably cleaning up the picnic. All right, everybody. So hit the subscribe button right now. I heard in another chat that anyone can enter the park after 3 p.m. Okay. Who cares? Let's see. Some of these parks get some drifter types. Yeah. How'd they get out of there? Man. Timothy Cecil called it, man. These are like some crazy times. Let's see what we got. Okay, I gotta move that up. Huh, where the hell is it? Man, I'm lost. Is it gone? I'm looking for my folder that this is in. And there it is. Okay. We will get an important update in the morning. Vehicle, image, video, witness statements. Are you sure about that? Where are you getting that from, Elias? Where are you getting that from, Elias? So, Elias, if you're wrong, will you send me a super chat? Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. That part of our area has many woods. Yeah. Yeah. Inside. My name is Elias. I have inside information. In fact, the inside information I have comes from my spirit box. At a hut. Oh my God, they said, did you hear that at the beginning? Listen, everybody. It says at a hut. Remember a minute ago when she said no cabin will be left unturned? Listen to that again. Oh, stupid. Did you hear that part? Stupid. That part? Yeah. Pretty clear. You know what? Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. You're not fun. You're a bore. Could have been placed in a camper and they sober, have to check out, just leave. Huh? They have to sober? They have to sober? There's some creeps that camp in junky rundown RVs, and well, that's not what's going on at the park, though. Okay, yeah, it's just literally a campground where people camp, and it's not like a rundown RV dump site where people, inhabit like a broken down camper. They would remove it. That's literally a camping ground where. But man, I sure hope you're right, Elia. Man, I just don't have a lot of faith in you. Yeah, who cares? This is a campground. It's different. It's different than what you're talking about. It's not like there's this like a campground sitting there where there's a camper. It's been sitting there for years, and people just can't go sleep in it. This is what it looks like here. All right, it looks like this. People pull up in campers, and maybe somebody came in with an older looking camper, but they're there just to be camping, right? I mean, this is what it looks like in there, you guys. It's not some kind of... Right, it's... Where did people come up with these things? Oh my God. Some only have tents, a car, of course. They employed 400 sheriffs to find one escaped convict. Where are all the people to find this child? They're probably out there looking, Lucia. This is Street View. There aren't people on this one. There's probably a lot of people out there looking. This is just Street View. It's not a live camera. Been there somewhere where there aren't campsites. I already went through it all, Goofy. Yeah, I showed it. Is there a press conference scheduled for tomorrow morning? I don't know. Sure hope so. We could nip some of this stuff in the bud. Alright, so let's do the loop here one more time. How about this? We'll do the loop one more time. We'll play the press conference one more time. And then I'm going to get the hell out of here. Right? So here's campsite 18. See? Check. It's loop A. Apparently there's a photo out there, likely taken right by this. right by that block. In fact, I think what we're seeing here is, in this picture, this little cement part right here is that. That's just my opinion. So that was actually from that day, I think. That's what she was wearing. All right, so there we go. We see that, and then we go around, and this is what it looks like. My opinion is it's coming up here. After you go around this bend here, she's going on another loop. You know, which direction she went, I don't know. So right around in this area is where I think there's a chance for an abduction. You've got sort of a, you know, if there's nobody here and maybe not in this spot late, you know, in October, there's a road right there that a person could park their car, abduct somebody, and take them quickly through the woods, and it even gets more narrow up in this area. I mean, hell, look at what it looks like right here. You know, somebody just steps out and abducts, and there's a road. I mean, so that area we were just looking at is right there. There's a road just 90 feet away, and that road is old Saratoga Road that could lead you out to Highway 9, and then from there you can go either south or north, and then you can get on to 87 immediately, and you're long gone before anybody knows anything. Her bike was found on Loop A right there. Yeah. So here's the thing. Anybody trashing the parents, saying it's negligent. So here's the weird part. Even if the parents ended up being somehow miraculously involved in something, you bitching about a parent letting their child ride on a bike at a campground on a loop, it's just, you're out of here, okay? It means there's something wrong with you. All right? It doesn't mean, well, that's just my opinion, gee, Gray. Yeah, it just means that you are an absolute, what do you call it, virtue signaling whack job, all right? Right, it's blame the person who abducted, not somebody letting their kids do something that kids do for fun, right? Thanks, Linda. Wonder if the kids that went around with her on the first loop, yeah, I mean, so those are the people that would be interesting. The kids that she was riding around with, and any people, so there must have been other people that saw her riding around on her final loop, and then where was the last sighting of her on her final loop? And then it's like after that moment is when she was abducted. So they've been able to kind of narrow down a general location of where she was abducted from, and I bet you the bike actually matches the location she was abducted from. And I wouldn't be shocked at all if it was inside the circle that I've drawn right there. So here's right at the edge of that. You come around and there's this little curve here. I mean, wouldn't it, this, how about that as a guy parks his car or something and sneaks through the woods and then uses this. I mean, look at that. There isn't anybody. This is sort of like this lone campground right here, right on the edge of my circle. I mean, it's right there. Let me put a pin so it's a little outside of it. That road's right there. So if I put that right here and then go up in the air, it's just outside of it, right there. So I guess we could kind of like try to, I don't know if you can move it. Let's see. Let me just get rid of this one and put a new one in there, make it a little more expansive here, kind of a right here, right in that spot, right there. Actually, that is a very interesting camping ground. Everybody else has people all around, and this one, I mean, you're right there. There are, back in here, but see how they're sort of far back? And people probably don't like the ones right next to the road, so at a certain time of year, you're probably not going to. But, man, that one's a crazy one. But look how close it is to the building right there, though. Oh, man. This is nuts. But it's actually that one on the corner. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, see, it's this one up here. I'm having a hard time stopping at it, but it's this one. See, that one doesn't have anybody. There's this place way back in there, but they're blocked to the view. This one is right in just a crazy spot, avoiding all of these people. And even if there was somebody in this one, these trees block it. The majority of the people are back there. This spot here, you could act like you were a camper, but you're not. See, so this one here is very strategically advantageous for somebody. And then you could just look how close that road is, the same one that we were talking about. And by the way, in this video, it looks like maybe a car parked across the street exactly in the same. So if I go up in the air right here and go right across the street, it should have been right there. Is there space right on the other side? And the answer is yes. So you could easily park right there, go through the woods here and abduct somebody from that camp spot that was right there and bring her, wait for traffic. You get a good view that way. You see how you can see all the way down there. And this way, you can't see as far, but you might take a chance, run across, put her in the vehicle, and take off. So that's a theory just based on the limited information that we have now. All right. So I'm going to play the press conference now for people that missed it earlier.
Good afternoon. I'm joined today by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Troop G Commander Major Dennis Shager. We also have representation from law enforcement, including the FBI. On a picture-perfect fall day here in upstate New York, Charlotte Sena's family and friends gathered for a weekend of friendship and food and enjoying one of the last few days of good weather. They came here to just have an ordinary time. The kids could have a chance to be in nature, have a chance to be kids. And they came to this beautiful scenic state park, Moreau State Park, literally 15 minutes from where Charlotte and her two sisters were raised. They rode bikes around the loop road we see. They camped, they cooked out. The kind that lasts a lifetime. But instead the day turned into every parent's nightmare. I just met with Charlotte's parents, David and Tricia, obviously distraught. And as a mother and as a grandmother, I cannot imagine the pain they're going through. They shared with me how joyful their little girl is. A fourth grader just recently elected to be a class officer for student council. And everybody thought of her as just a really nice girl, the kind that people wanted to be friends with, the kind that looked out for other children, the pride of every parent. So it's a very hard time for her family. I'll go through the circumstances of her disappearance, and we'll have representation from law enforcement talk about the search. Charlotte was camping with her family here in Moreau State Park. Last evening she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark, it was right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops with close friends she considers her cousins. And then she decided, after going around Troop A, she said she just wanted to go around one more time by herself. Be that big girl, do it by herself. Literally 15 minutes later, she hadn't come back yet. And that's really when the nightmare begins. Her parents knew immediately something was up. They called her name. People started searching. People from other campgrounds joined. And 30 minutes later, at 6:47, Charlotte's mother, Tricia, called 911. The scene was chaotic. People leaving their food, leaving their tables, just everyone in search, calling the name Charlotte. Charlotte. By 7 p.m., the state police were on site. And for the last 18 hours, 18 plus hours, teams from the New York State Police, dogs, aviation, our bloodhounds are here. The sword operators, our special response teams are on site. New York State Park Police, forest rangers, underwater rescue teams, and drones. We brought in technology experts also to analyze.
Hey Cadillac, wow, thank you so much. I appreciate your being, keeping some super chats going. It's been kind of a slow night other than the, a whole bunch of the really generous people.
Other forms of communications in the park at that time. A command post has been established at the state park right behind us. And additional search teams were deployed this morning. Right now there's over 100 personnel deployed, 75 law enforcement on the ground, the 2 drones, an airboat, search team, 6 underwater rescue teams, another boat that has sonar. We also have the Schenectady Fire Office here assisting with the search, given that Charlotte is the niece of one of the members of the Schenectady Fire Department. We are leaving no stone, no branch, no table, no cabin unturned, untouched, unexamined in our search to find Charlotte. We'll keep the members of the public updated. I promised her parents we'll find her daughter. She's all of our daughters.
Thank you, Cadillac.
Our family needs love. They need prayers. And if you know anything, if you've seen anything, you hear anything, please contact 911 to tell us what you know and what you may contribute to the search for this little girl. Hearts are broken here today in New York. Hopefully there'll be a reunion. Hopefully there'll be a family that has been traumatized but is reunited. That is our prayer and our hope at this time. With that, let me bring up Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone to follow up on our continuing search for Charlotte.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I am Lieutenant Colonel Richard Mazzone, Assistant Deputy Superintendent of the New York State Police Uniform Force. Shortly before 7 p.m. last night, State Police responded to Moreau State Park in the town of Moreau for a report of a missing 9-year-old female identified as Charlotte E. Sena of Greenfield, New York. Charlotte was last seen at approximately 6:15 p.m. riding her bike in Loop A of the park. At approximately 6:45 p.m., Charlotte's bike was located in Loop A, and at 6:47 p.m., Charlotte's mom, Tricia, called 911 to report the child missing. A command center was subsequently established at the Moreau State Park office, and search teams were deployed, which consisted of New York State Police uniformed troopers, State Police Special Operations Response Team, New York State Park Police, Forest Rangers, and our unmanned aerial systems, underwater recovery team, aviation, and canine, as well as several civilian volunteers. The missing child alert was issued last night, and search efforts continued throughout the night. In addition to our massive search efforts, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation has been conducting interviews with those in the park and around the region, as well as pursuing all investigative leads. Additional search teams were deployed this morning, and an Amber Alert was issued at 9:35 a.m. this morning. I want to thank our state police members, our park police and forest rangers, and all of our law enforcement and community partners for their commitment and efforts to find Charlotte. We continue to dedicate all resources that we can to find Charlotte and bring her home safely. Charlotte E. Sena is a 9-year-old white female with long blonde hair, is approximately 5 foot 1 inch in height, and weighs about 90 pounds. She was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon
So which one is it? Your Amber Alert said she's 4'6".
Shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. Members of the State Police Wilton BCI will be leading this investigation, and anyone with any information is asked to call the New York State Police at 518-477-9333 or call 911. Any updates will be posted to the State Police newsroom at nyspnews.com. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll take them at this time.
Just wondering what led you to issue the Amber Alert, specifically language in the alert that references an abduction, and perhaps any of that.
Well, following our exhaustive search of the park, we took that step of issuing the Amber Alert because we felt that after that exhaustive search, when we couldn't find her here, it was quite possible that an abduction had taken place.
How would you feel today is that I was just wondering in terms of how much of the park has been covered so far. You know, where exactly it's a relatively large park.
Well, certainly we started at the area that she was last seen, and over the course of the last 18 hours, we've conducted an exhaustive search of the park. We've been checking the waterways. As I've mentioned, we have our drones and aviation assets looking from above while our teams are on the ground. We had a bloodhound assigned to this area, several other canines, so I feel confident at this point. We've conducted a search of this park, and we're going to continue with that while we also search every other avenue.
Any idea she might be outside the park?
Certainly that possibility exists, yes.
Ellen question, CBS 6, might be a silly question, but are there any security cameras?
Well, I really don't want to get into the cameras and the technological aspects of our investigation and our search at this time, but I can assure you, as the governor mentioned, that we are doing everything we can to reunite Charlotte with her family.
All right, thanks everybody.
So I mean, they make it sound like there are cameras. Look at these are sex offenders here. Like they live in the same neighborhood, I guess. Well, I'm just trying to get some of these addresses, put them in. Yeah, I mean, so these aren't far away. There's a whole bunch. Let me show you this. So these are the registered sex offenders in Glen Falls, and it's right there. I mean, Glen Falls is right here. It's about let's see. Yeah, 5 miles away. So, I mean, you get on the highway that I was just telling you about. You get on Highway 9, and that damn highway takes you right into Glen Falls, right back to your little house. You know, you might want to check all these. I mean, look at these. My God. How'd you like to live on this block with your kid? Are you kidding me? Jesus. Yeah, this is risk level 2, 2, 2, 2. Right. And here's the park. In fact, that's the it's right here, I think. Yeah, there's old, yeah, there it is. That's just right there. How about like this guy? 17A. So these two are even closer. But anyways, you see what I'm saying. There's a lot of them around there. You never know. You never know. All right, you guys. So that's going to do it for tonight's show. I want to thank, let's see, thank you to RF, Kit Kat, Amber Maiden, Eugenie, Noreen Gardner, Ashley Hansen. If you'd like to consider becoming a channel member, there's inexpensive options out there, and that money too also helps support the channel and the large amount of money we send to charities at the end of the month. Ashley Hansen, and when I say large amount, I don't mean, hey man, we sent in $50, we did well. We just sent $4,500 in from the income yesterday. Ashley Hansen, Just Junie, American Lady, Kelly Snyder with a quadruple cat eye, Sleuth and Sandals, Danielle, Danny ICURN, Lane S, Cadillac with a cat eye, K Me, Cool Blue 71, 80, Living It as in Living a Dream, Mama 457 Rose, American Lady, Pebs W, Cadillac again, both cat eyes, and then Linda gifted a membership, then Cadillac again, Glamis Girl, Rhea Mazzarone. So I think that one, let me see if I update the screen, if that one got removed. Hopefully it did. Yeah, it's still sitting there, but it didn't show up in the what I was reading. So hopefully the guy gets his super chat money back. You know, I don't want to. Somebody didn't mean to send me something. I don't want to have it. Yep. Hope she's found. It's crazy. You know, it's like it's similar to like Summer. You know, Summer Wells just disappears, and although I don't know, I have a feeling that one's closer to home there. Not Dawn either. I think Summer Wells was, she died on the property accidentally, or you know, something happened that wasn't accidental, but it wasn't really like intentionally they tried to kill her or anything like that. But she died. Maybe it was even on the swing, and they thought that it would look. They would take the rest of their kids, so she covered it up, what happened, and that's what my opinion is in that one. I think that's a cover-up case, and it's easy to lie when the whole story is true, other than just one little part that you just remember not to say. So, anyways, thank you guys very much for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Kind of a long day for me, so sorry if I was on the top of my game, but I just don't have time for the virtue signaling people. All right, like in cases like this, even if it turns out the parents, you know, I think there's very low chance that the parents have anything to do with this one. But even if they did, letting your kid bike around at a campground on a loop is totally normal, okay? And those parents are just as good as you. Okay, they're probably even better. You know, you just got lucky. All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate you being here. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing.
Yeah, it was fun chatting with everybody.
And during this whole time,
some crazy comments. I gotta say that.
That is.
Gosh, Gray, those really were weird comments. Remember that one about the one with the.
Oh, come on, I don't remember each one of them. Good night, Eugenie.
On a stretcher, if you try and play me like an old projector.
What do you mean bye? You don't say bye, you just say good night, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture.
Crime collector, free connector, and I'm always gonna be a bubble nectar.
Fool deflector.
Interceptor. Mina, Becca, Becca,
on his
Becca,
with all respect.
Becca.
Just remember, I have a temple fucking
Injection.
I have
No agenda. I don't pretend. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope there's answers, and I hope it turns out good. A lot of these cases don't turn out positive, but there have been ones that have turned out positive. So let's all hope that Charlotte's case is one of those. All right. So thank you guys again. We'll see you tomorrow. And be safe out there.
You know, that's just one step above stupid. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains? This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Did you hear what I said? There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
Huh? It's a house!
Evil can never be dead enough.
And some of you, you make shit up.
Chewbacca?
I'll be
Okay, bye. Bitch, please.
Dude. Oh my god, awkward.
Drama.
Don't ask dumbass questions.
Are you angry at me?
And grits for brains here shootsy. Did you hear what I said?
That would fall under the category of something bad.
Breaking up is hard to do.
Hey Gray, I love this song. Let them know, man. So fun.
And grits for brains here shootsy. Did you hear what I said?